Hi chums, right back to me again, believe it or not. Right, so what we were doing was we were looking at the pumpkins. Right, there's the pumpkins. There's one, two, three. Oh, there's a strange one over there. Oh, there's another one. Look at this here. So I can grow marrows. Sorry, marrows. Look at that one. That's bigger again. So I can grow those, and there's another one there. There's some over here. I'll see if there's any. Look, see the corn? It all looks like decent cobs on it. And there's 2 or 3 on each plant. But they haven't done my cabbages. Yeah, that's what happens when your house takes over and you let your garden go. I'm looking to see there might be a couple of marrows in here somewhere. Because I planted them, obviously planted marrows here. Yeah, well, oh, look at that there. A dead marrow. Right, out of the wind, down. There's the beetroots. I must show you these beetroots. Those are the beetroots I put in beside the peas, and they're dead on. Look, see that there? That's about perfect size for a beetroot. It's just about the size of a real big egg. That's a lovely size for a beetroot. I'll get that boy on the way back. Somebody is saying to me, "Have you any potato reveals left to do?" I'll show you now. Those are all potatoes. There's 6. 6 there, and there's 10, 16, 20, 23, 23, 26, 28, 30. There's still another 30 reveals to do. I'm sorry to tell you, you're going to suffer. There will be no end to your suffering. There's the strawberries. Remember the ones I cut back to the ground and left them, and then those ones I left those ones. I cut those ones. Look at them now. Those are back to the same size as those. So we'll see what difference there is next year. What do you call it? Ian, I haven't forgotten about your strawberry runners, but I just haven't got a chance to go in and set any in pots yet, but there's plenty there. I'll do it next week. Look at my sad greenhouse. Now, the tomatoes, I thought I was going to have a real disaster this year, and I've actually got about 30 bags. 10, 20, 30, 15. Yeah, I've got about 30 generous servings of tomato soup in the freezer. I got another colander full of tomatoes yesterday. So they've done well. Andy, see these ones here that you gave me that came out of Lidl? They were beautiful. They were really beautiful. And Darren, these are your tomato primos, right? They didn't do well because I sprayed them with that stuff. It's Ian's fault. Well, maybe not, but I'm going to blame him anyway. But I sprayed them with the Epsom salts and the paracetamol or aspirin, and I gave them too much. But they did survive, and I got a few like this, and they're a very nice tomato. I was well pleased with them. The Lucciola, that's this plum tomato here, this Italian type tomato sauce. We got a good lot of those. The Shirley were good. They were very good. But there's very few of them. The Gardener's Delight did not do as well as I wanted. There's the average truss. There's about maybe 20 on it. I was used to getting maybe 40 of a truss easy, you know. Where else have we got? Yes, the cucumbers. Well, you can see what happens to cucumbers when you let them die on the plant. Isn't that attractive there? Well, the cucumbers are brilliant. I went to the doctors last week. I had to go to the doctors to get my bloods done. I always do that every month. And I brought about 30 cucumbers in, but they were all about 18 inches long. But there's about 20 girls working the place in the reception and the doctors and all, so they all got cucumbers each, and they were very pleased, they said. Well, they're going to say it anyway, aren't they? There's Gardener's Delight. You can see they're starting to go off a bit now, you know. But I'm not worried. Now, so next week I'm going to pull these out. Gary, look at this. There's your bird's eye chilies that were grown from the seeds I had last year. So I'm going to keep some of those for next year as well. Because next year I hope to do a lot better than this year. Because really, I just wasn't, as you know, at the start of this year, I just wasn't in the mood for it. And just while we're talking about that, about not being in the mood for it, next Tuesday is the first anniversary of my sister's death. That's a year ago, folks. Can you believe that? So that's a year done. So things are a lot better than they were then. I can tell you that we're in a much better place, and we understand things a bit better now. You know. So there's going to be a hard one coming up in a couple of weeks' time. There's going to be an inquest into her death because of the circumstances. She took her own life, and she set fire to the garage and died in the resulting inferno. So it was a very sad situation, and the coroner is not happy with the circumstances of why she went to those lengths, and the medical assistants and stuff, you know. So he's going to have an inquest and see what went wrong where. Okay, so that's it. But as I say, we're much better off placed than we were this time last year. But it's just surprising that it came around so quickly. Okay, I didn't mean to talk about that, but there it is anyway. Throw it out for what it's worth. Basically, I'm basically saying, isn't it amazing how quickly a year goes by? So there you go. Lupins have done pretty well. They've actually flowered in here. So I'm going to keep those and I'll stick them out in springtime. They'll be good and strong. The what do you call those things? Those are courgettes. They were a disaster, a complete and utter disaster. There's one there. Actually, there's one of the best ones I got, and it's dead. They were a disaster. There's another quite a nice one underneath that, but it's probably dead too. Courgettes do not do well in a greenhouse. These are the cobra beans. And as I say, I only come in here to get tomatoes and do a quick bit of watering to keep my strawberries alive. And that's about it, because I've been so busy doing other things. So this is what a greenhouse looks like when it goes to rack and ruin. And nature, entropy, Gary, entropy. This is it, isn't it? So this is entropy, and this is entropy at work. So there you are. And there's a nice wee bunch of tomatoes there, aren't they? Those are Luciola. Just for reference size, they're not very big, only about an inch long, but they're a lovely tomato. They're supposed to be a sauce tomato. We use them in salads and everything. They're really nice. And it's once again, while the plants are dying at the bottom, look at the top. See, tomatoes are vines, so they're determined to keep going no matter what. So there you are. So if the weather was good here, we could grow tomatoes all the year round, but it's not. These ones here were called Tumbling Tom, and they're a lovely little tomato. But do you know what happened? They're a nice little tomato. There you are. It's only a little small thing. They're nice, but they didn't actually do anything until I let them go to die. When they started to die, they panicked and ripened and stuff, and they came on okay. Up until that, they did nothing. And then they suddenly became good. Maybe I was giving them too much water and too much food. That could have been one of the problems, you know. I can spoil my plants. So next year, I might do them again next year and treat them rough and see how they get on. The melons, there's a melon down there. Now I can't eat that one there, but they were very good. They're a melon called Heart something, Sweetheart melon, but they're not as nice as one I grew last year called Cyrano by Marshall Seeds. I don't know why I'm telling you that, because I'll not get them now. But Cyrano by Marshall Seeds is a beautiful, beautiful melon, but you can't get it this year. For some reason, it's just not available, you know. So, that's the greenhouse, folks. The next time you see this, it'll be completely stripped out. What's the temperature in the greenhouse today? Temperature in the greenhouse today is a balmy 12 degrees, or what's that, 56. So, it's getting cooler, which I like, because I like that, because I don't. I like the cold. I don't like the heat at all. You know, if I don't know if I've said it before, but if I waken up on a desert island in Mauritius or something, or one of those coral islands, swinging in a hammock and drinking a pina colada, I'll know I've died and gone to hell, because that would be hell for me. I couldn't stick that. And waking up in the North Pole, drinking a pint of Guinness, that'll be heaven. So there you go. That's where we are. I'll do another gardening video when I get the place cleared up a bit, but there's so much to do in the house. We're moving stuff again today. We've got the bedroom back in organised. We're moving our chest of drawers in. Until we get new ones, we'll bring the old ones in. We want to get my daughter's room sorted out for her and her partner coming home for Christmas. So, or for New Year, so we want to get that done next month before the Christmas rush starts. But everybody's looking at their house painted for Christmas, apparently, you know. So it's only one room, so Paul will do that in no time, and we'll get the radiators done at the same time. And if it's dry, we'll get the outside of the house done. What am I doing? The cement, the coins, and the plinth along the bottom got stained with the render that we put in the walls at K-Rend, and it was our own fault. We tried to mask it off, but it didn't work. We discovered that the professionals use cling film, or sarin wrap you call it in America, isn't it? And it sticks into the grooves in the cement, into the wee dips and hollows, so it doesn't get in as easy there. So we made a mistake. Then we tried to make a sloppy mix of mortar and cement and paint it on like a new coat, and it kind of worked, but it wasn't satisfactory. So we're going to get it painted a dark grey, which will bring in the windowsills as well, and everything will match up then, and it'll just highlight it basically, and make it much tidier looking, you know. So we'll get that done as well, and that'll be the house finished. Oh no, the gravel should be done. We're hoping to get it done next month, but we're waiting for the boys to come back and talk about that. Okay, so there we are, folks. We've only got a few minutes left in this battery, so 10 minutes. Right, so I'll stick these 3 videos up, and then I'll start moving wardrobe. No, moving chests of drawers. Oh no. Right, all the best now. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.